Super Mario has been a gaming icon since 1985, but two games stand out for pushing the boundaries of what a Mario game can be: Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Odyssey. Today, we're going to dive deep into how these two games from two different eras each revolutionized game design and creativity in their own unique ways. When Super Mario 64 was released for the Nintendo 64, it wasn't just a Mario game, it was a game that defined an entire generation. For many players, it was their first experience in navigating a fully 3D world. What made Mario 64 so groundbreaking? First and foremost, it was the introduction of the free roaming 3D camera. Players could explore large open areas, which was unheard of at the time. Mario 64 wasn't just confined to moving left or right anymore. He could move in any direction. This gave the game a real sense of freedom. And then there were the acrobatic moves. Mario could jump, flip, dive, and even wall kick. Moves that not only felt amazing to control, but added layers of depth to how players approached each level. From flying with the wing cap to swimming through vast underwater levels, Mario 64 gave players a sandbox that was rich with variety. It was the first time players could experience a world that felt alive and filled with secrets waiting to be discovered. 21 years later, Super Mario Odyssey took everything great about Mario 64 and expanded it for a new era. The core DNA of exploring and discovery is still here, but the game takes it to another level. The most obvious addition is Cappy, Mario's sentient hat. Cappy lets Mario possess enemies, objects, and even NPCs, fundamentally changing how the game is played. This mechanic isn't just a gimmick, it's integrated into the very fabric of Odyssey's level design. Cappy allows for creative gameplay that feels fresh, even for longtime Mario fans. Whether you're flying through the air as a bullet bill or hopping great distance as a frog, each capture ability introduces new ways to interact with the environment. While Mario 64 was groundbreaking in its time for its open levels, Mario Odyssey redefines what an open world Mario game can be. The kingdoms are massive, with countless objectives, challenges, and collectibles. There's no set path, which encourages players to experiment and explore at their own pace. Let's talk about how these two games approach game design. In Super Mario 64, each level is a self-contained world, and players select a specific star to collect. Each star often has a clear objective, from racing Koopa the Quick to navigating treacherous platforms. There's a sense of structure where each star is a mini challenge. Super Mario Odyssey takes a more modern approach. Players collect power moons, but unlike Super Mario 64, you don't get booted out of the level after finding one. This creates a more seamless experience where exploration feels more fluid and the player is encouraged to keep going, finding secrets after secrets without interruption. Then there's the emphasis on customization. Odyssey gives Mario different outfits, some of which unlock new areas or help you solve puzzles. This adds a layer of personalization that wasn't present in Super Mario 64. Another key difference is how these games push the hardware of their respective system. Super Mario 64 was a technical marvel in 1996. It took full advantage of the Nintendo 64's 3D capabilities, using a then revolutionary analog stick to give players full control over Mario's movement. Meanwhile, Super Mario Odyssey runs on the Nintendo Switch, a hybrid console with far more power than the Nintendo 64. This allowed the developers to create rich, detailed worlds, dynamic lighting, and animation that weren't possible back in the 90s. Despite this, both games were optimized to run smoothly, showing just how much Nintendo prioritized performance. Both Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Odyssey have left a lasting legacy on gaming. Mario 64 pioneered 3D platforming and set the standard for nearly every 3D game that followed. Its influence can be felt in everything from Banjo-Kazooie, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and more recently the PS5 exclusive Astro Bot, as you can see on this comparison video made by GameXplain. Super Mario Odyssey, on the other hand, was a love letter to everything that came before it, whilst also introducing new ideas. Its reception was overwhelmingly positive, with many praising it for recapturing the magic of Mario 64 while still feeling fresh and innovative. These games are more than just milestones in the Mario series. They represent two eras of gaming, each defined by creativity, innovation, and the joy of exploration. Super Mario 64 opened the doors to 3D gaming, while Super Mario Odyssey showed that there's always room to push the boundaries even further. So which is your favourite? Does the groundbreaking nature of Mario 64 win you over? Or do you love the expansive creativity of Odyssey? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into the world of gaming.